Ram fans did this to themselves. I know how that sounds, and I am not taking it back. For years you defended this brand no matter what it put out. You paid whatever they asked at the dealer, and you treated every new 1500 like it could do no wrong. So the company learned it could cut corners, jack up the sticker, and you would still line up to buy. Then it pushed too far, and now the bill is coming due in a way that should scare every truck owner in the country. To understand how Ram got here, you have to remember where this brand was just a few years ago, because this was not some struggling brand limping along. Back around 2019, Ram did something Dodge truck guys had dreamed about for decades. It passed the Chevy Silverado and became the second best-selling truck in the entire country, behind only the Ford F-150. Half the driveways on my street had one, the 1500 won Truck of the Year. The inside felt nicer than trucks costing way more. And that big Hemi rumble was the soundtrack of every job site in America. I will be straight with you because I am about to spend the next 15 minutes going after this company. The Ram of that era built a really great truck. I have put more Hemi-powered 1500s on the lift than I can count, and the good ones are a pleasure to work on. The bones were there, the talent was there, which is exactly why what happened next makes me want to throw a wrench across the bay, because while Ram was sitting on the best run it ever had, the people upstairs started making decisions that slowly took the whole thing apart. Let me show you the damage first, then we will get into how it happened. From its peak around 2019 to 2024, Ram lost more than a third of its sales. Not a soft year, a third of the business gone. The Silverado passed it again and shoved it right back down to third place. Dealers I talked to had lots so stuffed with unsold trucks, they were practically giving them away, and the factory kept piling on rebates just to move metal. When a brand has to bribe people that hard to take a truck off the lot, that is a huge warning. But a sales number alone does not tell you why people walked away. The engine does. So let us talk about the Hemi. For years, the 5.7 Hemi Vive 8 was the heart of the Ram 1500. It was not the most efficient thing in the world, but people loved it. They loved the sound, the feel, how simple the thing was to work on. Then somebody in a boardroom decided the future was a smaller engine with 2 turbos bolted to it, and for the 2025 1500, they did the unthinkable. They killed the Hemi. Took the V8 off the order sheet entirely. The engine that built the brand just gone, and the truck buyers revolted. These are not people who change their minds quietly. They went straight to the dealers and asked for the V8. And when they were told it was discontinued, a lot of them walked across the street to Ford and Chevy and bought a truck with 8 cylinders instead. You could feel it in the sales charts. Here is where it gets almost funny, except it is too sad to laugh at. Ram backpedaled. In the middle of 2025, Ram brought in a longtime company guy named Tim Kuniskis to run things. He stood up, said straight out that dropping the Hemi was a mistake, and announced they were bringing it back. A giant automaker reversing its biggest engine decision in a single year in public because the customers said no. I have watched this industry a long time, and I cannot remember the last time I saw a company eat that much crow on purpose. Now, the company would love for you to see this as them being humble. They put out the big announcement, even slapped a special badge on the new Hemi trucks to make it feel like a celebration. But I read it differently. You do not rip an engine back out of the grave in 6 months unless killing it was costing you a fortune. Take away the nice words about listening to customers, and that whole U-turn was really a confession that Ram nearly wrecked its own brand. But the Hemi drama is only half the engine problem, because the thing they replaced it with has its own questions to answer. That new engine is the 3.0 Hurricane, a twin-turbo inline-6, and on paper it is impressive. It makes more power than the old Hemi and uses less fuel doing it. The car magazines liked it. but here is my honest take, and the comments are going to light me up for this one. I do not trust a brand new, heavily turbocharged 6 to live the way that old Hemi did. A naturally aspirated V8 is about as simple as a modern engine gets. You bolt 2 turbos and a pile of plumbing and heat onto a smaller motor, and you have just added a dozen new things that can fail at 140,000 miles. I would rather own a high-mileage Hemi truck than a brand new Hurricane truck, and it is not close. Ask me again in 10 years, but that is where I stand today. And before the Hemi loyalists get too comfortable, that engine was not exactly perfect either. If you spend any time around these trucks, you know the Hemi tick. It is a ticking or tapping sound that creeps in, and on a lot of these engines it traces back to worn lifters and the system that shuts off cylinders to save fuel. I have had Hemi-powered trucks come into the shop sounding like a sewing machine, and a few of them ended up needing serious top-end work way earlier than any truck engine should. So this idea that the old Ram was bulletproof and the new one is the problem child, it is not that simple. Both eras have their headaches. And the engine is just one room in a house that has been leaking for a while. Let me show you the recalls. This is the part that really gets me, because reliability is the entire reason somebody buys a truck. A truck is a tool. It has to start, it has to tow, it has to work. And in the last couple of years, Ram has been buried in recalls. The big one hit more than 1 million trucks over a brake system fault, a problem with the anti-lock braking control that could cause issues exactly when you need to stop. That is not a trim piece rattling. That is the part of the truck that keeps you out of the ditch. There is more. The mild hybrid setup called e-torque has a habit of stalling. The truck just shuts off on people. And on the diesel side, the heavy-duty Cummins trucks have a fuel pump that likes to fail. When it goes, it sends metal shavings through the whole fuel system. The repair bill can look like a down payment on a house. I have given that estimate to a customer and watched the color drain out of his face. It is brutal. So you have got the engine confusion. You have got the recalls. By now you might be wondering how one company fumbles this many things at once. The answer is upstairs, in the corporate offices, and it is uglier than any single truck problem. Ram does not run itself. It lives under a giant overseas car company called Stellantis, the same outfit that owns Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler. And the boss running that whole empire, a man named Carlos Tavares, spent years squeezing costs out of everything: cheaper materials, fewer people, higher prices. Short term, it pads the profit. Long term, the customers feel it and the product gets worse. Late in 2024, Tavares was pushed out the door as the American brands fell apart. But the damage was already baked into the trucks people are buying right now. And the dealers, the people who actually have to sell these trucks, had finally had enough. A big group of American dealers signed an open letter to the company calling out exactly what was happening. The trucks were priced too high, the lots were overflowing, and customers were getting scared off by sticker prices that had crept into territory that used to buy you a small house. When your own dealers are writing letters begging you to fix it, the wheels are already coming off. Real quick, if this is the kind of truck talk you want more of, do me a favor and tap subscribe. That is the whole reason I get to keep making these. All right, back to it. Because there is one more swing Ram took, and this one might cost them the most. While all of this was falling apart, Ram bet big on going electric. They announced the 1500 Rev, a fully electric truck, and the Ram Charger, a clever setup with a gas engine on board just to recharge the battery so you never get stranded. Smart ideas, I will give them that. But then they watched Ford and Chevy launch their electric trucks first. took a hard look at how slowly those were actually selling and got cold feet. So they pushed the electric Ram back, then they pushed it back again. They wanted to be careful and let the other guys take the arrows, which sounds reasonable, until you realize Ram now has no V8 story, a Turbo 6 people are unsure about, and an electric truck that keeps sliding further into the future. They are caught in the middle with no clear answer for anybody. So here is where I land, and this is the part I want you to actually hear. Ram did not get taken down by Toyota or by some unstoppable shift in the market. Ford and Chevy drove through the exact same storm. The same fuel rules, the same electric pressure, the same price increases, and they came out the other side still selling trucks by the hundreds of thousands. Ram got taken down from the inside by a parent company that cut too deep, priced too high, killed the engine its customers loved, and then had to embarrass itself in public to bring that engine back. Every wound on this brand has Stellantis fingerprints on it. Now, I am not writing Ram off. I want to be clear about that. The Hemi is coming back. There is real engineering talent still in there, and the bones of that 1500 are still good. The man they brought in to steady the ship actually seems to understand what made these trucks special in the first place. If they get the prices back to earth and stop chasing trends their own customers never asked for, this turns into a comeback. But right now, they are climbing out of a hole they dug themselves, one boardroom decision at a time. And if you are even thinking about buying a 2026 Ram 1500, stop and do not sign anything until you watch this next one. I lay out 5 reasons you are better off waiting for the 2027 instead, and number 4 is the one that would make me walk right back out of the dealership. It is up on your screen right now. Watch it before you put a single dollar down.